Hey everybody, this is Jim with Guitar Ambition, and today is New Guitar Day. So I have the ceremonial knife, not very ceremonial. But let's start tearing into this, bring it into frame just a minute. As you can tell, it is a Kiesel custom. And we'll start cracking the thing open. Very nice. Right on top is the description and all the custom order, all the specs that I ordered. Very cool. Make sure, yep, it's mine. And just to show you a little bit about the packaging that they do, very kind of a nice little cushioning agent there. They've got one at the bottom as well, I'm sure. Should be done with the knife. Let's get this out. And here we are. Okay. Don't need you anymore. Look at this, and you'll see this the first time that I do. So I'm really excited about this. Let's see, and the grand reveal. Oh, okay, yeah, that looks nice. Oh, that looks super nice. Okay, the guitar stand right there, and of course the case that it comes in is pretty nice itself. Goofy stuff that's in here. Should be a tremolo arm. Here it is. Right along with the strap locks and other stuff. Wrench for this, that, and the other. Okay. Slide that out of the way. And dun dun dun. Okay, what we have here, and I have the specs memorized because I kind of really was engrossed with it and went back and forth on a lot of things. Mostly what I went back and forth on was the aesthetic features. Okay, what kind of finish do I want, so on and so forth. And of course I'll have to tune it. But what we have is a Kiesel Delos D1X, I think is how they designate it. The X stands for having the tremolo. And this is not my first guitar with a tremolo, but it's one of the first. And so I'm not really used to playing tremolo guitars, but I'm sure I'll figure it out. Very Strat-like. I did specifically go for very Strat-like, very standard Strat-like features. It's got three single coil pickups, an ash body, maple neck, rosewood fingerboard, 22 fret neck. And what's really cool about this is I did order something that made it non-returnable, which was what do they call it, the thin skin finish? No, that's something else. What do they call this? It's on here. Swamp ash body, Kiesel trim arm, the raw tone. That's their name for it, the raw tone finish. So it's easy to, this particular finish is easy to ding up, so that made it a non-returnable option. And I was fine with that. As I understand from the Kiesel representative that I talked to, The non-returnable option makes it so that if you decide, oh, I don't want that because I don't like the way the finish came out, then it would not be returnable. If there was warranty issues, issues with manufacturer or defects, or if it was delivered in a if it was delivered in a configuration that I didn't order, then they would take it back. But if I didn't like the raw tone finish, then that's too bad. But I'd seen several pictures of it, and it really does look great. Looks wonderful. So let me go ahead and give it a tune. Let's see if this thing's going to work today. So I decided that I needed to have something properly stratish. And you're going, well, Jim, that's not a Fender. It can't be a Strat. Okay, fair enough. But on the other hand, there's lots of Fenders that are less stratty than this. The thing of it is, I was looking at some of the Fender American Professional line, I think. They don't put them on the guitar, so it's hard to say. I think it's the Fender Professional line that's currently in 2019, the line that runs about $1,400–1,500. You know, I had gotten a Telecaster, which you've seen in many of my videos. It's this one right here. I'm very, very happy with it. It's a great guitar. But I started looking at Stratocasters and stuff like that. I played the PRS Silver Sky a few times, and that was super, super nice. Also $1,000 more. Maybe you know, just a few $100s more than, say, the new Lincoln Brewster Strat, which looks really nice. I like that one a lot too. But the Kiesel, because they cut out the middleman, I can save $1 or several just by, you know, trusting them to build a guitar that I like and waiting for a while. Now, just for the record, I ordered this in, I'm looking at my watch to find the month. It was about 5 weeks ago that I placed the order, and they told me that I should expect this guitar in about 2 months' time. Well, it's a month early, so I'm really happy about that. But I was willing to wait the extra month, certainly. And let's see, what else about Kiesel can I tell you? Number one, I mean, they have a reputation for having very, very nice finishes. Now, this is a fairly low-key finish, which I kind of favor. And I'll show you my other Kiesel here in a minute, just to drive that point home. You can get a lot of really, really just mind-blowingly beautiful finishes on Kiesel guitars, just whatever your noodle can can dream up. But that's not really me. So I went with something a little bit more low-key, and that also keeps the price down quite a bit, because once you start talking about, you know, quilted maple tops and special, you know, multi-piece necks, which this doesn't have. It's just a maple one-piece neck, that starts driving the price way up. And a Delos, which is this model right here, that starts at around, you know, $1,100, can be $2,500 just with the extra options. This one optioned up to $1,374. So a little bit less than the American Professional series, and I played a few of those Stratocasters. Liked them, didn't love them. I liked the Silver Sky, the PRS Strat, quite a bit more. It was just a nice guitar in some very intangible ways that just made me want to play it more. The Fender Strats at that level didn't really just pull at me so much. So being very pragmatic, I went ahead and spec'd up the Kiesel guitar and placed the order, and went over and over and over in my head about how I was going to order it, and ordered it exactly the way I wanted. which is this way. Another thing about the Kiesel guitars that, now I haven't tried this tremolo yet, but they do give you the option. I think the standard option for strings is, you know, Elixir strings, 10 to 46, which happens to be one of my favorite kinds of strings. So they set it up, and we'll test that of course, but they set it up with these strings, so I shouldn't have any tuning problems. But we'll see. Also the stainless steel frets, I've got that on my Kiesel Zeus, and I really liked them. They're very smooth to play. Maybe they sound a little bit brighter, but I don't know. That's a really esoteric thing. Some people can hear it, some people can't, but it feels great. Now, like, just for a little bit of background, let me show you my Kiesel Zeus, which is this right here. Doodly-doo-doo-doo-doo. And it is this beauty right here, which when I first got back into playing guitar, less than a year ago at this point, in, you know, October of 2019. Look at my watch for the year. My watch doesn't have the year on it, but I look anyways. But back in, well, December of last year, I placed this order and got it in February. And I challenged myself by getting a guitar that was a 7-string, and I'll get back to that. But I also got the one that was headless for specifically for travel, because, you know, honest to goodness, that really makes a difference. If you're going to be carrying a guitar, even just, you know, into town for your guitar lesson, you know, throw it in the back of your car, your truck, or whatever. Having a you know, an item that's about 8 inches shorter than a standard guitar kind of makes a difference. And I also took it on a cruise with me back in June, and worked out great. You know, I took a tiny little Boss Katana mini amp with me and a little looper pedal. Let's see, I took you can't see it because it's on the second shelf, but the Zoom G1ON, or the Glon as I like to call it, for just a little bit of stuff, and it's super inexpensive. So if it got lost in transit, I wasn't gonna freak out over it. But it was all battery powered, so I didn't have to, you know, find an outlet to play. I could go out and play, you know, in just, you know, the open areas of the ship to play. And I did that a couple times, and it was really fun. Didn't really, you know, meet any girls that way. That's always kind of the goal, isn't it? But it was a good thing, and it enabled me, having this little bitty guitar, a little bitty amplifier, and a little bitty pedal, enabled me to do that, which was, you know, added something to the trip for me. Anyways, back to the Kiesel Zeus. You can see the finish that I got is the satin finish, not the raw tone, but it is, as I said, low key. They will spec some of these guitars to where they look just gorgeous, and I kind of didn't want that. I want, you know, and this is just me, but I prefer a guitar that doesn't outshine my performance. So I have to get a low-key guitar. If I get a really fancy looking guitar, then I need to really step up. So that's just my thing. The fan frets on this, you know, the multi-scale option, which this is, I never had to make any kind of adjustment. It just seems to fall to my fingers. I've never had to think, oh, let me stretch a little bit more this way or the other way in order to make these fanned frets work. Just never been an option, or never been an issue. The headless thing, of course, is a huge benefit for travel. It doesn't throw me off for, you know, for playing in any way. You know, the thing about this guitar that did throw me was the 7th string. Which I worked at enough, and I played this guitar pretty exclusively for about 2 or 3 months before I even just picked up another guitar. Took it to lessons and all that stuff. And I got to where the 7th string wasn't really in the way, but it's not really something that I'm getting much benefit from yet. But I've still got the guitar. I do love to play it, and I'll play it some more on the channel at some point. It sounds great. The pickups sound beautiful. Okay, if everything's working right, my mics, the recording, and all that stuff, we're good. And that's the clean tone on the neck pickup of my new Kiesel Delos. Very, very nice. This is new for me because I'm working through my Fillmore 50 from Mesa Boogie. This is the first time I'm actually amping a cabinet and recording it to GarageBand. I played the Delos through the Helix and through all the channels that I had set up, really kind of with the Telecaster in mind, and it was not exactly speaking to me, so I switched over to the Boogie, and it just is wonderful. I really am liking that sound. The Helix may require a little bit of tweaking. The Helix always does. That's the wonderful thing about it. I have no doubt that I'll be able to get some great sounds with the Helix and the Delos. So that's the clean tone, and let me throw you a little bit, something with more interest. Little verb, or that's a little bit of, there's a little bit of reverb on the amplifier, and I just kicked in the TC Electronic Flashback 2, and how about a little JHS Emperor. Little number 2 notch position. Great sound out of that one. A lot of people don't like the number 2 position. I dig it. I think it's the reason to have a Strat. And I say, of course, a Strat in the general sense. Let's see. How about a little bit of dirt? We'll throw in some tumness from Wampler. And throw a little compression. Take away the tumness. The compression, because this is a single coil guitar, the compression does lend a certain very nice quality to it. And I'm no expert on compression. I'm just got some basic settings on my Wampler Ego Mini, and sounds great. Back to the first position. The number 2 position, or number 4, the bridge and middle. And the bridge position. Let's see. Gives a little dirt, take away the compression. Just noodling now. You probably want to hear with the amp dirt. This is going to be with no pedals, just the amp, and I'm going to turn up the gain. I'll turn down the master just a touch so I don't overrun the preamp. I'm going to take the gain. The gain knob was at about 11. It's now at about 130 or 2. Let's go ahead and put it on about 2. the neck position. And that's what it sounds like. That, of course, is on the clean setting of the boogie. Just for gigs and shickles, let's put it on the drive setting, see what it sounds like. I'm going to leave the settings just the way they are, see what happens. And of course, I'm finding the limitations of my own playing a little bit. A little gift for you. Those all those mistakes are completely free, no charge. And that's how it sounds. So far, this is just in my initial impressions. I just got this guitar today, of course, but I'm very, very happy with it so far. Hopefully, this may help you make a decision that you might have about a Kiesel. Kiesels are not for everybody. If you're looking for a particular sound that can only be gotten from a particular, 62 Stratocaster with the special wound pickups by the guy who was on Friday and took a long lunch break or something like that. The Kiesels are not the guitar for you if that's what you're looking for, because you can't really try them in the store unless you live in San Diego, which I don't. But if you're looking for a very nice guitar for a reasonable price, if you can trust them to build a nice guitar to your spec. If you're looking for something that's in this area, not in this area, then Kiesel, I think, can do a good job. That's the way I'm approaching it. I was looking for a very stratty guitar, and I spec'd an ash body. I spec'd 3 single coil pickups, the beryllium pickups. They are the lower output, kind of vintagey, maple neck, rosewood finger bell. All the normal stuff. So this is a very, very stratty guitar, with the exception of a few things like stainless steel frets. The neck tilts back a lot, just a tiny little bit. There's no string trees to mess with. It's only got 1 tone knob and things of that nature. It's not a Fender tremolo. It's a Kiesel tremolo, and I haven't really tested it a lot. I'm not much of a dive bomber, so I'm not going to exercise it too much probably in the normal course of my playing. But so far, I give it a thumbs up, and if that changes, I'll let you all know. I certainly will. Hey everybody, thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope this was a useful video for you. And if you got something in it, please like and subscribe. Thanks. Hi, this is Jim again, and I wanted to give a big thank you for watching this video. And I wanted to say that I really appreciate those of you who are early subscribers to my brand new channel. If you enjoyed this video and haven't done so already, please like and subscribe. And I'm going to try my best to upload twice weekly on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And I appreciate your patience as I learn more about the process to make better videos. Thanks again. Bye now.